Hi everybody, welcome to another week of CloudCoin Live. We're going to be changing this program a little bit in that I'm going to be doing some pre-recordings, and then we're going to have the only just questions and answers live in the future. We're probably going to be moving the recordings to Wednesday nights instead of Friday nights. Just maybe that will make it easier for everybody to tune in if they like. We're not quite sure about that, by the way. Well, it's been a very exciting week at CloudCoin for the past, actually 2 weeks, because I didn't give a report last week. Last week I was busy programming and forgot all about CloudCoin Live, and have been doing quite a bit of programming since then, quite a bit of designing. The biggest development that we have is the creation of a new company called RAIDA Tech. And RAIDA Tech has been able to raise some funds, quite a bit of funds, so much funds that it's a company that can stand on its own, and it can do a whole bunch of research. It's going to be collaborating with the CloudCoin Consortium, and that means that the CloudCoin Consortium is going to be able to, are we still live?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, the CloudCoin Tech and the consortium are going to be working together, and that means that we're going to have a whole bunch of new resources. So, for example, RAIDA Tech is creating a RAIDA department, and it's going to be able to use that technology in the RAIDA. And we're also going to be taking the software that the consortium has done, and which is all open source. Anybody can take it and use it. It's free for everybody. Everybody can change it, so you're welcome to do that as well. But RAIDA Tech's got some money behind it, and it's going to be able to develop that software. So we expect to see a big explosion of development. We are starting with the RAIDA, and the RAIDA now, you know, it didn't have any professional developers 2 weeks ago, and now it's got 2 full-time developers, and it's got 3 part-time developers, and so that is a big change. That means that we can really start improving the RAIDA, and we've got all of these ideas that are new, and we're having just an explosion of technological ideas. One of those ideas is called Pan Forward, and that's where if I want to send you some coins, I'll actually send my authenticity numbers to the RAIDA, and then the RAIDA will send you the coin changed. And so this actually uses the RAIDA as kind of a relay, and that would make it so that when you receive cloud coins, you wouldn't have to pwn them. They'd already be pwned, and ideally you could receive them over some kind of media that you usually receive stuff, like you might get it in an email, or you might receive it on Skype, or you might get it on Facebook, or wherever it is that you usually get it, maybe a messenger, and that would be very convenient for everybody. It would reduce the amount of time needed to trade, well, substantially. So that's an interesting thing we're working on. We're also looking at using the RAIDA for counterfeit detection on other things besides cloud coins. So it could actually be used to counterfeit detect a lot of different things, including physical things like purses and shoes and stuff like that. So that is something that's exciting. We have full-time people now. We had full-time people that are working on the RAIDA, and so I expect there to be a big explosion in development with that, including our what I'm going to call our absolute scalability solution. And what this solution does is it makes it so that the RAIDA can handle the entire world's population, all the transactions all at once. And so that is just a massive thing, and we can actually do that. And so that's going to solve any problems. We're going to begin, hopefully, within a month, maybe 2 months, starting to have RAIDA that are available to many more people. So we're going to be bringing out probably 100 more RAIDA that are going to be starting in America. We've got places all over the world, but we're probably going to start rolling this out in America, and we're going to have a lot of RAIDA that are available, and you don't necessarily have to be a system administrator to run one. We're going to have them kind of as a black box thing where it's got all the software and the data, and occasionally you might have to update it. You just got to keep it connected to the internet, and you've got to keep the power on. And so those, if you can fulfill those two requirements, then you can be a detection agent and have one of these servers. It's probably going to be a very small server. It's probably going to be very energy efficient. It's only going to be in charge of a very small 1/800th of the total data of the RAIDA. So I hope to have that done in the next month or so. That's going to be very interesting. So we're going to have a RAIDA that is basically perfect. We're going to be able to store data in it pretty soon. And that's going to change the nature of data storage. It's going to allow people to store things in a way that is absolutely private, absolutely secure, no chance of, well, I guess there's always a chance. So the RAIDA is going great. Then my next thing to set up, and by the way, in the CloudCoin consortium from until a couple weeks ago, it's been me, and then there's pretty much one layer of everybody answering to me. And so that's not a scalable solution. We're now getting so many people that how can everybody answer to me? And in fact, it's happened that we've kind of had a breakdown where things just aren't getting done because I'm the bottleneck. I've got to make the decisions, and I just don't have enough time to do that, especially with traveling and shows and everything. But now we're going to have department heads, I guess you could call them department heads or second tier managers. And these managers are going to be in charge of big things like clients or liquidity or marketing or different things like that. And so I'm going to be able to talk to them, and they're going to be able to do the job. And you might wonder, why didn't we do that before? And the reason is because we haven't had the resources to attract managers, people that with the really manager skills that can quit their jobs and work full time. And so we've had to rely on a group of people that are working just for CloudCoins. And as you can imagine, working for CloudCoins in the beginning is pretty darn difficult. In fact, for the first year, we couldn't hire any programmers to work for CloudCoins. It was pretty much just me that was working on all of the development because nobody would want to quit their jobs and work for CloudCoins. But now we're actually able to bring in much higher quality talent, and we're able to have more resources. And so it could be that you've been kind of interested in CloudCoin, and you might have been interested in the consortium, and maybe you wanted to get involved, but you couldn't afford to because you couldn't quit your job, but you're a believer in CloudCoin. Well, now we might be able to make a deal. We might be able to work with you and see if we can bring you on board with CloudCoin, with RAIDA Tech, working on getting this technology and pushing it forward. We're pushing it forward little by little, and I think that pushing is going to accelerate. Our client software I just received Founders 2 another version of Founders 2, and I'm going to put that up. It's a very important, we have this development cycle. The development cycle is let's build Founders, which is a console application, then let's build the Linux, let's build the Windows then, and the Android, and all these other things once we get done with the Founders. So if the Founders is not done, we can't do all this other stuff. But the Founders is now, I'm pretty sure, done. We have, it's been in testing for 2 months, going back and checking everything, trying to get this thing working perfectly. I'm going to continue to test it, and hopefully it's even, there's no issues. We now have the resources to do something that we couldn't do before, and that is that we can have more testers. So we can have a tester who's basically just in charge of testing what happens if the RAIDA goes down or weird stuff happens. We have something called the fake RAIDA, and now we can have a software tester that's just dedicated to testing scenarios with the RAIDA, and that's going to be a big help. And we might even be able to have one programmer per thing. So we might have one programmer on Founders and one programmer on the Windows Edition, one programmer on Mac, and one programmer on Linux Founders. And that's something that we couldn't even dream of 2 months ago. And so that's going to be a big, giant improvement. I will note that because of RAIDA Tech, it used to be that I would have to sell a lot of CloudCoins so that I could pay for stuff. And so we'd need dollars, and I'd have to sell CloudCoins. And but I don't have to do that anymore. And in fact, now, I don't think most of our programmers have to do that anymore. So we're going to see within the next couple days a situation in which the programmers stop selling, I stop selling, and actually RAIDA Tech is going to be buying. And so we're actually going to be buying. I tried to make my first purchase of CloudCoins on the BitShares exchange tonight. It turns out that I have to have Bitcoins in order to buy BitShares. And so I don't have any Bitcoins. I don't believe in Bitcoins. I think Bitcoins is going to fail. And I think that CloudCoin is going to put it under. And if you have been following cryptocurrencies, you might have noticed that today, most digital currencies dropped about 20%. I'm getting ready to go in and buy some CloudCoin on the BitShares exchange. One of the issues that we have is that with the BitShares exchange, we only have one side of it where you can sell your CloudCoins, but you cannot actually buy CloudCoins in order to turn them into CloudCoin. So you can't really, you can buy the BitShares CloudCoin token, but you can't take that BitShares CloudCoin token and go to the depository and get those CloudCoins out yet. That's just one script. Should be pretty darn easy to do, and hopefully we'll have that done by this week, and everybody can do that. One of the things that you'll see is an account called EOS Stealth. Okay, so when you see the EOS Stealth account, that's somebody within our organization. And that's, you'll see them buying. You might think, oh, they're trying to play the exchange. But no, we're actually going from being sellers of BitShares to sellers of CloudCoins to occasionally buy them. And we're going to have this new thing called EOS Stealth. And we're going to start marketing. I've got an agreement in with Stan Larimer, the godfather of BitShares and the father of the creator of EOS. And we're going to start marketing that hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Right now I'm trying to reorganize the entire organization and go from a single tier to a double tier system so that we can get more stuff done. Let me see, what else do I need to talk about?
I have questions whenever you're ready.
So I'll go ahead and take some questions now, but I'll keep talking about liquidity here. Yes, what's some?
Carla is asking about the relative value of CloudCoin tokens, BitShares, and the EOS Stealth. What fees are involved?
Okay, so unfortunately, I don't really know that right now. And I was kind of surprised that there was any fees because I thought we got rid of those. But there are fees involved. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to have to buy BitShares is so that I can cover a lot of the fees. Now, when I figure out more about that, I'll tell you all about that. But there are some fees, and you can expect that there should be some fees because the exchange has to make their money, although it's not real clear who the exchange is. But that's another issue. Is there any other questions?
It's the same question about the cloud coins doubling. Should they become too valuable? You are now planning to create cloud coins, or cloud cents, excuse me. Can you explain this further, and how many cloud cents would be in one cloud coin? Thanks.
Okay, so we had the idea of doing something that we call doubling or multiplying. This, or even we call it splitting. Now keep in mind, in the Bitcoin crypto world, this is actually called forking. And so I've got one currency, Bitcoin. Somebody says that it's too slow. Somebody says it's just fine. All of the people get in a big fight. They can't agree. And so they actually, some of them change the code and other ones don't. That's called a fork. And it doubles the amount of Bitcoins that are out there. And with CloudCoin, we were considering that this is a tool that we could use to make more CloudCoins because we have a fixed amount. And the way that we would have to do that is literally cloning all the servers. That is going to be too difficult once we start to hit this 800 server mark. It's going to be too hard to clone them. And it turns out that we don't really need to do that because we can have CloudSense instead. CloudSense is where we take a cloud coin and we lock it up and we issue cents against that. Now, how many cloud coins per cent? Well, you'd expect 100 cloud coins per cent. 100 cloud coins per,
Yeah, that's really hard to say.
100 cloud cents for every cloud coin.
Yes.
So that would make sense. And what that would do is it would actually create another layer. So we'd have the RAIDA, and then we'd have these banks below that would handle all of the cents, and they would also handle cloud coins as well. And this would make it so that we have to just authenticate against the banks. We don't have to go directly to the RAIDA. This also would allow us to create another tier if we needed to. So we could create millicents if we needed to. Right now we don't need CloudSense, but we are developing it so that we'll be ready to do that when the time comes, which it will. So the value of cloud coins is going to go up. The value of cloud coins, however, we have this 5-year development plan, and over that 5 years we're spending cloud coins into existence. Now it is possible that the amount of cloud coin demand will exceed the amount of new coins that we're putting in there, but I don't expect the price of cloud coins to go up too much until after 3.5 more years. In that case, it's going to go up. I think it's going to skyrocket. And so I hope to now not sell any of my cloud coins, but wait until that time, and just save the cloud coins that I earn. Now, there is, let me see what I was going to say about that subject. Well, I can't remember. Is there any more questions?
Yes. Are you planning on marketing cloud coins? I feel like this guy's asking a lot of the same questions you answered last week.
Sure.
I don't know if you missed it or what, but again, they're asking if you're going to market cloud coins.
Yes, and we're going to, we still have some software issues to deal with before we go into the marketing phase, but we are now looking at a plan to market them as EOS Stealth. So what's the difference between cloud coins and EOS Stealth? Different name, same coin. We're not doubling the coins or anything. We're just literally taking the data. We're putting it, instead of putting a JPEG that says CloudCoin, we put in a JPEG that says EOS Stealth. And we change the extension. Well, we don't even change the extension. So it's still a stack file. Instead of having CloudCoin in the name, it's going to say EOS Stealth in the name. And we're going to then spend money on different websites that you would expect people that invest in cryptocurrencies to be at. And when is that going to happen? I think it's still a month off. There's still too many things that aren't going as well as I'd like them to. And I really want it so that we concentrate on making the product very good so it sells itself. still a lot of technologies that I want to put into it that make it easy to use. I want people to use it and think, wow, this is great. This is so much better than cryptocurrencies. And so, so the marketing is going to come, but I think it's still going to be a month until we are actually able to launch that, although we are gearing up for it and preparing for that. And this EOS Stealth is a big part of that.
Same person would like to know, will RAIDA technology future plans affect CloudCoin price?
So will the RAIDA tech future plans affect CloudCoin price? I think it's absolutely going to affect it. And so that's, you know, part of the mission of RAIDA tech is to increase the price and value of cloud coins, because most of the people that are involved with RAIDA tech are also involved with CloudCoin, and they also have them. And so RAIDA tech is able to solve so many problems for the consortium, and the consortium is able to help and give code and give support and give stuff that is free to everybody, by the way, to RAIDA tech. And so we're going to have so many different, for example, the first thing that we're going to do with RAIDA tech is we're creating a CloudCoin based system to allow us to authenticate physical items. And so imagine that we've got a purse, and in that purse we can put a public, what we call a public cloud coin, and it's actually just a part of the cloud coin. It's not the whole thing, but a person can go by with their cell phone and they can detect if that purse is real. And so the person, by buying the purse and leaving that chip in there available, they're advertising the fact that their product that they bought is authentic. And then if somebody was to steal that cloud coin, because it would be possible for them to steal it, actually, but then they can just do what is called a frac fix and fix it in a matter of a couple seconds, and then that is going to be fixed again. And so they're going to have basically a cloud coin in their purse that it cannot be read except for them, and then a cloud coin that can be read by anybody, and it's actually just a cloud coin shard or a cloud coin part that can be read by everybody. And so we're going to the part of our marketing plan, we're going to a trade show called the Anti-Counterfeiting and Currency Expo. Now this is held in Las Vegas on November 6th, so we got 2 months to get our stuff together. We have the best booth in the entire exhibition hall. And so as you open up the main doors and you walk in, you come straight into our booth. And so anybody that's just walking by the exhibit hall is going to look in and see our booth. It is the best one. And our message is that we've got the best technology and we're going to have, at this expo, there's a lot of currencies. So that, like, imagine that you are in charge of the United States Treasury and you're worried about the American Federal Reserve notes being counterfeited. Well, you might attend this conference, and what they're going to learn is that they can use RAIDA technology in the United States note or any kind of physical item, we hope, and any digital item to make sure that it's not counterfeit, and that would then take the price, because I mean there's enormous cost that goes into ensuring that the United States Federal Reserve note is not counterfeited, and the same thing with all other currencies. And so we think that we can make some extraordinary deals. I'm not going to give this technology out for cheaply. We've got CloudCoin that's designed to be a global currency, but CloudCoin's not going to get rid of the Federal Reserve note. And if RAIDA tech can come in and improve the United States Federal Reserve note so it's more like CloudCoin, it's private, but it can't be counterfeited, then we would expect to sell that for hundreds of millions of dollars. And the reason is because right now they're spending $800 million a year on that technology, and we could save them hundreds of millions. And that's just the United States Federal Reserve note. There's hundreds of currencies all around the world that belong to governments, and there's hundreds of other currencies that are like private, like the kind of tokens that you use in casinos and maybe, you know, like your air miles that you might have for airlines. There's all kinds of opportunities out there. And not to mention just we can probably for $1, we could put counterfeit detection systems that can be detected with a cell phone into everything that you're wearing, everything that, you know, every every item. And of course we want to put them into pills. And so we've got a pill, we put this chip in it. The chip, you can actually swallow it. It's going to go right through your system and out. But before you swallow that pill, you can test that pill with your cell phone and see if that pill is exactly what it's supposed to be or what it says it is. And so this is going to be very transformative. We think it's going to be very valuable. And we think that we're going to make a lot of money. And that money is going to help CloudCoin develop, because CloudCoin is going to benefit from, you know, that technology that the RAIDA tech needs. And so as we're building our client, we're going to be able to help CloudCoin as well. So yes, RAIDA tech is going to help CloudCoin go up in value.
Explain depositing 250 CloudCoin on DEX and get approximately 28 bit shares.
So the question is, explain depositing 200.
Yeah, deposit 250 CloudCoin on DEX and get approximately 28 bit shares.
Okay, so the word DEX means distributed exchange, and in fact there's lots of distributed exchanges. I'm not sure if they're talking about DEX as a specific exchange or if they're talking about bit shares. Right now you can go to some place called cloudcoin.digital, and you can upload your Bitcoins, and you can buy CloudCoins with those, and you can actually, I think, buy CloudCoins with any digital currency at cloudcoins.digital. There's also cloudcoins.ru, RU, which you can buy CloudCoins with any kind of digital currency. So you don't need an exchange to buy CloudCoins with digital currency. As far as the price goes, every website is going to have its own different price, its own different marketing thing. We're going to try to explode the number of websites that are selling CloudCoins and make it much easier for everybody to find them, and actually make it so that it's automated, so that if you have your own CloudCoins on your own computer, you can put them for sale, and what will happen is that people can come and buy them from you for whatever payment system that you have, like PayPal or Stripe or checks, different payment systems. That's something that we're going to be able to put into a higher gear as we get more resources.
Gary would like to know, are you not selling CloudCoin on the consortium anymore?
So Gary wants to know, are we not selling CloudCoins on the consortium anymore? And the answer is that we have this. The answer is no. So I mean, I should say the answer is no. We're not selling them right now on the consortium website. In fact, I don't think we ever have. We do have a page called learn.cloudcoin.global. That's not working right now. We do want to have a convenient place where people that want to just spend a few dollars can go to and buy CloudCoins. And I'm going to try to find some people that will sell CloudCoins for that purpose. And but right now that website's pretty much down because nobody's selling. But hopefully in the future we can get that going find some people that are willing to sell for, I think they were selling for 3 cents each there. But for the most part, I think it's going to be harder to find CloudCoins. There's probably going to be less people that want to sell them, I think. Now the general public, at least in the consortium members, but it's kind of a pain going through BitShares, because I tried to buy some with dollars. I was not able to. I had to, it looks like I'm going to have to buy Bitcoin first and then translate that and be able to buy some. I do plan on buying some CloudCoin on BitShares. If I can get Bitcoin tonight, maybe I should, you know what, maybe I've got some friends in Russia that I could, buy some Bitcoins with. I might, in fact, and I do have some friends that might sell me some BitShares for CloudCoin. Anyways.
Colby would like like to know, can you tell us how we can trade CloudCoin for USD? Do we have to sell our CloudCoins for BTS, then sell to BTS for ETH, then transfer the ETH to Coinbase or another exchange or similar? And the question is rolling underneath you so you don't have to repeat it.
Okay. So the question is, how do you sell your CloudCoins for dollars? And that is something that, I certainly know how to do that. There's different ways to do that. And of course, if you're talking about how do you do that through the BitShares exchange, I don't quite have that figured out yet. But it looks like there's a token called BitUSD, which you would think would allow you to get dollars, but it doesn't seem like it does. And so that's a misunderstanding that I had before, that you can somehow buy these BitUSD tokens, but the BitUSD tokens they're not really dollars at all. You can't really get dollars out of them. Something called Open USD, and that it was something also I thought was a way to get dollars out of it. That doesn't seem to, I'm not sure about that either. So I'm still trying to figure that out. I've asked for help from BitShares and I've received some videos, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll have a better, I'll be able to tell you how to do that. And one of the things that I think that we're going to do is we're going to create some kind of sales help. We've got to be careful about breaking the law and all this stuff. But it might be very possible for us to have it where you upload your CloudCoins into some kind of account, and then people can come and then buy them for dollars. And we'd have to figure out how to give you the dollars. But right now, the way it's set up for me is that I can advertise on my web server CloudCoins for sale, and people will come and they will give me a check, and that'll go right into my bank account. So it's very easy for me to change CloudCoins into dollars, and that software is called Cloud Server, and we've actually just been perfecting it. But you could download that, you could put that on your computer. You'd have to open up port 443 on your router so that people could come to it. You'd have to open up an account with a payment service called green.money, and then you could just list your coins for sale on this web page. You direct people to the web page, and then they could buy all your coins. And so that is a possibility. In fact, there is a company that just did that. They're called cloudcoins.us. So if you go to cloudcoins.us, they are now selling their CloudCoins for checks, and but I think that they might have changed their price. I actually haven't checked their website in a few days, but there was something going on where they had decided to mark all their coins not for sale, and were changing the price. And I'll try to find out about that tomorrow. But what I hope is in the near future, we can have it so that everybody can sell their CloudCoins from their PCs. They just have to have a Stripe account, a PayPal account, or a checking account that's linked with green.money. And then you could quickly change them into dollars that way.
We're at about 33 minutes into the show right now, and that is all the questions answered.
Okay, so I've answered all your questions. I'm going to talk a little bit about something called operations, what I call operations, and that is the organizational structure and the way that the consortium goes. Right now we have a constitution, but pretty much I get to appoint everybody until about 4 years, and then we start having elections, and we start, then at the 5-year point, we actually have a new president that comes in and replaces me. And that process is starting to gear up. We still are, far, years away, but we're starting to create committees. We're starting to look at creating a nonprofit organization. The question is, where should we start it? Should it be in Switzerland? What are the other countries? Netherlands? There's a few other countries that we were considering, Hong Kong. And so we're just trying to figure out where to put this nonprofit organization, and then we'll start putting the government together and getting members, and so that's going along very well. As far as marketing goes, I'm trying to reduce the amount of public appearances I'm giving so that I can put more time at designing and programming and getting the technology out there. And but once the technology is out there, we'll probably start with paid advertising, actually trying to drive people to our websites using things like Facebook and Google search engines and different websites that cater to that stuff. So that will be the first time that we actually pay for trying to drive traffic to our sites. But before we do that, we want to make sure all of our ducks are in order. So that's the status of marketing. All right, well, I want to thank you all for attending, and I hope you have a good week. It's going to be fruitful, I think, and I'm looking forward to it. See you next week. Bye-bye.